Good morning all of you. My name is Ashutosh Rastogi and today we are going to discuss about signed binary numbers and various codes. So these are the outlines. We are going to start up with the signed binary numbers. Then we will going to discuss various binary codes such as your BCD codes, gray codes, ASCII character codes, error detection codes, Hamming codes, etc. So we are going to take up them all one by one. Although we will not going through into the greater detail, but we will get some insight or idea about various sorts of binary code. So in our last lecture, we have discussed about various number systems and how we can convert into one number system to another number system. We are basically dealing with unsigned number system while studying those number systems. But here we will discuss about your signed binary number systems. Signed binary numbers. So what are signed binary numbers and how we can do that? Let us look into. So what are signed binary numbers? So to represent negative integers, we need a notion for negative values. Although in our earlier lecture, we have discussed that for providing subtraction or negative numbers, we are using complements of that. So just to represent the negative integer numbers, we just need a notion or notation for negative values. So it is compulsory to represent the sign with a bit placed in the leftmost positions of the numbers in the binary digits. Since when we will going to store the numbers, these numbers are only having certain binary values, and when we have to provide certain sort of arithmetic operations, how does a computer will going to understand that what are the positive numbers and what are the negative numbers? So it is customary to represent the sign with a bit placed in the leftmost position of the number of in the binary digit. So what we will going to do that we will going to assign the leftmost digit, or you could say the MSB position of the bit that has been reserved for giving its sign information, whether it is a positive number or a negative number. So the convention is quite simpler. So in order to make the sign bit 0 for positive and for 1 is negative. That means if we have to show any positive number, then the first bit or MSB or leftmost significant bit would be leftmost bit will be your 0 for positive, and if we have to present a negative number, then your leftmost bit would have been represented by a 1. So for example, signed magnitude representation would be given as 1000101. So this is just an example. So here this leftmost bit, I'm talking about this one, it is representing that it is a negative number, and rest of the things and rest of the bits are basically representing its magnitude. So this is the signed magnitude representation of any binary number system. So signs one's complement representations would be like, so whatever number we will going to have is we will going to provide its ones complement via inverting all those bits, and we have to left out the leftmost digit, or we should leave it as it is, and rest of the bits for this 000 will be having this 111, for this 1 will be having this 0, for this 00 will be having 11, and for this 1 will be having 0. And in the similar manner, if we have to put the same number in, or we have to represent it in the signs 2's complement, so its representation would be look like that. We have to add 1 when we have to convert from 1's complement to 2's complement. So we just add this digit with this 1, and we are left with tetra 1 0 111. So this will be the 2's complement representation of this binary number, or you could say that of this signed binary number. So the table 1.3 lists all possible 4-digit signed binary numbers in the 3 representations. So this is the table which is basically representing the signed binary numbers. So this is showing from +7 to -8. So this is representing your sign 2's complement, this is representing your sign 1's complement, this is representing your signed magnitude, or you could say that your journal numbers. So we can easily say that for this +7 would have been represented as your 111, and since we are using 4 bits binary number representation, so we have put this 0, that is 0 triple 1. It is basically representing your plus 7. So how we can convert our decimal to your binary number system, we have already understood it in our last lecture, where we are trying to divide by 2. So you are left with this triple 1 and this is the 0. In the similar fashion, we will going to have different numbers, and up to this plus 1 we will be having this, and this plus 0 and this minus 0. This 0 would have been represented as all 4 zeros, and this first digit, if you can closely observe, this first digit is 0. So this 0 is basically representing its sign bit, which is signifying that we will be having the positive number systems. So this first bit is providing information about its sign, and rest of the 3 bits are representing its magnitude. So we could easily understood it up to this 0. So that is, this 0 is representing your positive sign and this is representing its magnitude. For negative 0, its sign magnitude representation would be like this: 1 is basically representing your negative value and this is representing its magnitude. In the similar fashion, if we have to represent this minus 1, then minus sign would have been designated with this particular 1. So if you closely observe, all those bits in the leftmost section would have been represented as this 1, which is signifying its negative sign, and for rest of the things, or for rest of the bits for determining its magnitude, we have put it as it is, such as this plus 6 is 110, and this is, for this 1 we have its sign value is 1 and its value is 001. And in the similar manner, for minus 2, this 1 is signifying minus sign and the magnitude of 2 would have been represented as 010. And same is the case for 3. So its sign bit is your 1, for it is signifying its negative sign, and 011 is the magnitude of 3. So in the similar manner, we have make this signed magnitude representation of these decimal number systems. So here one thing should be quite confusing, that what do you mean by plus 0 and minus 0. So it is the drawback of your signed binary number system. So there is no significance of signifying 0 plus or 0 minus. So 0 is a 0 number. Specifically, it doesn't contain any value, that is, we cannot say that whether we are talking about plus 0 or minus 0. 0 is a neutral one. So in the similar manner, we have this ones complement of this sign magnitude. So this particular column is representing the sign ones complement corresponding to this signs magnitude, and this is basically representing the sign 2's complement. So how we are going to calculate signs 1's complement and sign 2 complement, we had already understood that. So now moving forward, the addition of two numbers in the sign magnitude system follows the rules of ordinary arithmetic. That is, there is nothing specific about that. If the signs are of same sign, we will going to add the two magnitudes and give the same sum, the common sign, whatever sign we are talking about. And if the signs are of different, that is, one is positive and another one is negative, we will subtract the smaller magnitude from the larger and give the difference the sign if the larger magnitude. So whatever we will going to do in our simple mathematics, we have to do that the same thing. If both these numbers are of same sign, then we have to add them and put the common sign. And if the signs are of different, that is, one number is positive and another one is negative, then we have to subtract the smaller magnitude from the larger one and give the difference the sign whatever with the larger magnitude. So the addition of the two signed binary numbers with negative numbers represent in sign 2's complement form is obtained from the addition of two numbers including their sign bits. So this is how we will going to do the addition of two signed binary number systems when they are represented as sign 2's complement form, or we could say that as a negative numbers. So we just simply have to obtain the sign 2's complement and we have to add them including their sign bits, and the carry out of the sign bit position is discarded, and the last digit, or you could say that if the signed bit is having or containing any sort of carry, then we will simply have to discard it. So whatever we have studied in this particular slide, let us discuss with some example. So the example is something like, suppose we have to perform the addition of plus 6 and plus 13 with the help of with signed binary numbers. So plus 6 would have been represented as this 0 1 1 0. So this is the magnitude, and this MSB or leftmost bit is actually representing that it is your positive bit. So we have put this 0 bit, which is signifying that it is positive, and in the similar manner this plus 13 here, in this plus 13 also, this is signifying the plus sign, and this is representing its magnitude 1101. So we will simply going to add, just as we have to perform in our arithmetic operations. What we will going to do that. So this 0 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 will simply added with, or you could say that your binary addition performed with this plus 13. So 1 plus 0 plus 1, that is we obtain 1. 1 plus 0, that is again 1. 1 plus 0, 1 plus 1, that is 0, carry 1. 1 plus 1, again 0, carry 1. So we will be having this 1, and for rest of the other bits, 0 plus 0 will be having 0, then this 0 plus 0 will be having this 0, and again this 0 plus 0 will be having this 0. So this 0 is signifying that we will be having certain positive value of the number, and this is representing its magnitude. So which is simply saying that 1 plus 2 3, 4 8 and 16. So 16 plus 3 will be having this plus 19. So we can easily verify this outcome, 13 plus 6, that will be equal to 19. Whereas in the second case, we will be having this minus 6 plus 13, and we have to perform this arithmetic operation. So how we are going to do that? So obviously this minus sign would have been represented by this MSB or leftmost bit, that is your 1, and this is representing its magnitude. So initially, if you going to observe that, you will find that how it will going to represent its magnitude. But please keep in mind that here it is your complemented version. So how we will going to obtain this value? So let us do one calculation. So we need to represent this minus 6 in complemented form. So how are we going to do that? So what will be the magnitude of 6? So magnitude of 6 would have been represented as 0 1 1, that is 0 2 and 4, 4 plus 2 6. So this is the magnitude of 6, and for the leftmost bit would have been represented as this 1, and for rest of the places we will going to append or add certain zeros, since it will not going to change the magnitude of the number. So this is your 1 0, that is 4 5 6 7, and this is our 8th digit. So this is representing the value of your 6, this is the magnitude, and this one is representing the signed value of your 6. So when we will going to take the complement of that particular, so we will going to left with 1 1 1 1 1, then 0 0 1. So this will be the ones complement of this digit. So this number will be the ones complement of this digit, and but we need to do this or perform this addition with the 2's complement. So in order to obtain this 2's complement of minus 6, what we are going to do is we will going to add this 1 again. So what we are left with, 1 plus 1, that is your 0, then carry 1, we will be having this 1, then again 0, then this 1 1 1 1 and 1. So if you closely observe that, this is how we have obtained the 2's complement of 6. So this is basically representing your minus 6, and plus 13 we had already seen that. So this plus sign is is represented by this 0 and this is signifying the magnitude 13. So we'll simply going to perform this addition operation. So what we are left with, 1 plus 0 that is 1, 1 plus 0 that is again 1, 0 plus 1 again 1, 1 plus 1 0 again carry 1, 1 plus 1 0 again carry 1, 1 plus 1 again 0 carry 1, 1 plus 1 again 0 carry 1, 1 plus 1 again 0 carry 1 and we will going to discard the value that would have been generated on the signed number, as we had discussed in our last slide that we will going to discard the carry that would have been generated on the signed bit. So we are left with this particular number, that is 0000011. So this is signifying its magnitude. This 0 is representing plus and this magnitude is represented as 7. So the net outcome turns out to be plus 7. So we can easily see from this particular example. Now in the third example, what we have to do is we have to perform this arithmetic operation, plus 6 minus 13. So what we will going to do that? So plus 6 would have been written as 0. This is signifying your sign value and 110 is representing its magnitude. So that we had already seen. So minus 13 would have been given as basically the 2's complement of negative 13 would have been given as 11110011. So how we are going to calculate that? We had already discussed how we can calculate the 2's complement of any negative number. So as we have evaluated minus 6, we can also evaluate this minus 13. So simply we will going to perform the simple binary addition. So what we will going to get is 0 plus 1, that is your 1, 1 plus 1 again 0 carry 1, 1 plus 1 0 carry 1, that is your 1, and then again 1 plus 0 that is 1, 1 plus 0 that is your 1, 1 plus 0 that is your 1, and 1 is as it is. So this particular digit is signifying that it is your negative value, and when we are going to take the 2's complement of this particular digit, so what we have to do is we have to simply invert the digit from the first one. We have to invert the digit, basically all the digits which are coming after this one. So this one we have to write it as it is. This 0 would have been written as again inverted as 1. This 0 again would have been inverted as 1. This 1 will be having this 0. This again 1 will be having this 0. This again 1 will be having 0. Again 1 will be having this 0, and this is signifying its negative value. So this magnitude turns out to be your 7. So net outcome turns out to be your minus 7. So answer we can easily evaluate it. And in the similar manner, in this last example, what we're going to have is we'll be having this minus 6 and minus 13. So 2's complement of minus 6 and minus 13 would have been given like this, and we have to simply perform this addition operation. 1 plus 0 will be having this 1, 1 plus 1 will be having 0. In the similar manner, this will be the outcome. So this negative sign is represented by this particular bit. This is your sign bit, and while after taking the 2's complement of rest of the bits, what we're going to do as this 1 again 1 0 0 1 0 0. So the magnitude turns out to be 1 plus 2, that is your 3, 4, 8, 16. 16 plus 3, that is your 19. So that will be the magnitude. So that will be the answer. So answer would have been obtained as your minus 13. So this is how we will going to perform the arithmetic operation with the help of signed binary numbers. So arithmetic subtraction, next slide is your arithmetic subtraction, how we will going to do that. So we have to take the 2's complement of the subtrahend including the sign bit and add it to the minute including the sign bit. So how we will going to perform this arithmetic subtraction? This particular slide is giving the instruction or information about that thing. So a carry out of signed bit position is discarded as we had discussed. So simply we'll be having this plus or minus a. This a and b here, they are representing your two bits or digits, you could say. So the arithmetic operation would have been given as plus minus a addition of minus b. So we can simply perform that. So why we have mentioned this or changed these signed values, such as for minus b we will be having representation in the complemented form, and we have to simply perform this addition operation. In the similar manner, plus minus a minus times of minus b, so we are going to perform the same thing. So this minus b would have been represented as your, so in the similar manner we can obtain this particular value. So let us quickly understand with the help of example. Minus 6 minus times of minus 13. So how we are going to do that? With the help of above explained expression. So here you can say that it is your minus a and it is your minus b, and we have to perform this subtraction operation. So what we will going to do that? This is simply the 2's representation of this your minus 6, and this is the 2's representation of your minus 13. So what we can replace this minus sign with the positive, and we can replace this minus b as a plus b. So 13 would have been written as 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 1. So this is your plus 13, and this is the 2's complement of your minus 6. So simply going to perform the addition operation between these two. So what we're going to left with, 1 plus 0, that is 1, 0 plus 1, again 1, 1 plus 0, again 1, and then again 1 plus 1, that is your 0, again carry 1, 1 plus 1, again 0, carry 1, 1 plus 1, again 0, carry 1, 1 plus 1, again 0, carry 1, and we will going to discard this last one as a carry in the sign bit. So we are left with this 0 0 0 0 0 triple 1. So this triple 1 basically representing its magnitude as 7, and this 0 sign is indicating that we will be having a positive of 7. So this is how we are going to perform arithmetic subtraction with the help of 2's complement. So here you have to keep in mind that when we have to perform the subtraction operation, and both of the bits would have been negative 1 or represented like plus minus a minus times of minus b. So we have to simply replace this minus sign with the positive sign, and we have to replace this minus b with plus b. So now we're going to discuss about various types of binary codes. So digital data is represented, stored and transmitted as groups of binary digits, which is also known as your binary codes. So binary codes basically divided into 6 different types of codes, that is your weighted codes, non-weighted codes, reflective codes, sequential codes, alphanumeric codes, error detecting and correcting codes. So weighted code again divided into two parts, that is your binary codes and your BCD codes. Non-weighted codes, the examples of your non-weighted codes are your access 3 code and your gray code. The examples of reflexive codes are 2421 BCD, 5211 BCD and access 3 codes, whereas the example of sequential codes are your 8421 BCD and access 3 codes, and the examples of alphanumeric codes are your ASCII codes, EBCDIC code, Hollerith codes, Unicode, and your error correcting and detecting codes, the examples are your parity checking codes and Hamming coding. So let us quickly look what are the different specifications of different types of binary codes. So weighted code, in the weighted code each digit is assigned a specific weight according to its position. This we had already discussed when we were studying about the conversion. So in the weighted code each digit according to its specific position is having a specific code, a specific weight. So whereas non-weighted codes are, in non-weighted codes are not oppositionally weighted. So here in the non-weighted codes specific positions does not signifying any specific sort of weights, which is the compulsion situation in your weighted codes. So what are reflective codes? So a code is called reflective when the code is self-complementing. What do you mean by that? we can say that when the code for 9 is the complement of its code for 0, 8 for 1, 7 for 2, 6 for 3 and 5 for 4. This is the specific example. What do you mean by reflexive codes? So suppose if you are talking about your decimal number system, so that decimal number system's maximum value would be your 9. So what do you mean by reflexive codes? Reflexive codes means if the complement of 9 will be 0 and complement of 8 will be your 1, that is, if you closely observe that if we going to calculate the complement of 8, or you could say that the r's complement of, or r minus 1's complement of 8, that will be equal to 1. 7 is the complement of 2. So if this condition holds good, then these types of codes would have been called as your reflexive codes. Sequential codes. So in the sequential codes, each succeeding code is the binary number greater than its preceding codes. So this is a specific number system, you could say that. So in the sequential codes, each succeeding codes that is come afterwards, that is one higher than its preceding codes. So what do you mean by alphanumeric codes? So in alphanumeric codes, these codes are used to represent number, alphabetic characters, symbols, everything that would have been represented via certain digits. Or specifically, we should say that would have been represented by specific block of binary bits. So error correcting and detecting codes. So codes which allow error detection and correction are called the error detecting and correcting codes. So the examples of error detecting and correcting codes are your Hamming codes and your parity codes. We will going to take a look how these different codes will going to be work out. So first we are going to discuss about your BCD codes. So here in this BCD codes, or you could say that binary coded digits, number of k decimal digits will require 4 k bits in the BCD digits, in the BCD code. So what do you mean by that? In each decimal number would have been represented by a 4-bit binary coded. So that is why for k-bit decimal numbers we will be requiring 4 times of that number of digits that are in your decimal number. We will be requiring 4k number of bits. So decimal 396 is represented in BCD with 12 bits. So how we have obtained this 12 bits? Just because each and every individual decimal number would have been represented by 4 bits blocks of binary digit. So that is by 4 times of 3, that will be your 12 bits as 0011, 1001, 0110. So this 0110 is the representation of this 6. So and this 1001 is the binary representation of 9, and 0011 is the binary representation of this 3. So this is how we will going to represent this 396 decimal in your BCD number system, with each group of 4 bits representing 1 decimal digits. So a decimal number in BCD is same as its equivalent binary numbers only when the numbers is between 0 and 9. So obviously if the numbers are lying between 0 to 9, so its BCD equivalent will be same. So the binary combination of 1010 through 1111 are not used and having no meaning in the BCD. So this particular table is showing the decimal symbols and its equivalent BCD digits. So this 0 would have been represented as 4 zeros and 1 would have been represented as 0001. So this is the table how we will going to get the BCD equivalent digit in contrast with your decimal symbols. So since in decimal number system we will be using only 10 digits, that is your 0 to 9, and when we will moving forward, that is your 10, it is basically going to read it like your 2 digits, that is your decimal 1 and decimal 0. So that is why its BCD representation in a simpler block of 4 bits is not possible. So that is why we are simply using your 0 to 9 and discarding rest of the bits. So this particular slide is showing the BCD examples. So consider a decimal 185 and its corresponding value in the BCD binary would have been given as 185 of decimal, that will be equal to 0001 100 0101. So what we have done, nothing special. We have just put the weighted value of this decimal 5 in 4 digits, that is your 0101. So if you closely observe, 101 is the binary representation of 5 and we have put this 0 just because we have to represent it into the block of 4 bits, and this 8 would have been represented as 1000 and this 1 would have been represented as 0001. So if you have closely observed the last table, then you can simply easily write that, otherwise you can convert it also. So the decimal 185 will be equivalent to this complete digit in the BCD. So if you have to convert it into the binary equivalent, you could simply perform this 185 divided by 2, then again whatever value you are left with, you again have to divide it 2, and you have to mention the remainder value in the reverse order, as we have discussed in our earlier lecture how we have to convert it. So the binary equivalent of this 185 decimal, that will turns out to be 10111001. So this is the binary equivalent of this 185 decimal. So BCD addition, how we are going to perform this addition? So suppose we have to add this 4 and 5 with the help of BCD. So the BCD equivalent of this 4 turns out to be 0110, and your 5 would have been represented as 0101. So we will simply going to perform this addition. 1 plus 0, that is 1, 0 plus 0 again 0, 1 plus 1, that is your 0, and carry 1, and we will be having this 1001. So this is basically representing your plus 9 of your BCD. So let us take another example where we have to add this 4 plus 8. So here you have to keep in mind that the summation 4 plus 8 here will be having this 12. So let us quickly understand how we will going to perform this addition with the help of BCD. So the BCD equivalent of 4 would have been written as 0100, and the BCD equivalent of your 8 would have been represented as 1000. So we are left with 0 plus 0, that is your 0, 0 plus 0 again 0, 1 plus 0, that is your 1, and again 1 plus 0, that is again your 1. So 1 1 0 0. So this is not the valid digit in your BCD. So what we are going to do that whenever the individual bits outcome is greater than 9, we have to simply add this 0110, or you could say that we have to add 6. So what we will going to left with is, we will simply going to add this 0110. What we are left with, 0 plus 0, that is again 0, 1 plus 0 again 1, 1 plus 1, that is 0, carry 1, then 1 plus 1 again 0, again carry 1, and we are left with this 1010. So just to properly represent in the form of BCD, we have to append this zeros before this 1, and we will going to take the magnitude of these values. So here the magnitude is 1 and this is your 2. So this is the BCD equivalent version of adding 2 digits. So in the third example also, let us add this 8 plus 9. Here also the summation turns out to be 17. So again what we have to do is, we have represented the BCD equivalent of this 8, obviously we have, and we had also represented BC equivalent of plus 9 as 1001. So simply adding that, we will be having this 1001, and as we had discussed that if the addition value is greater than 9, then we simply have to add this plus 6 with the equivalent answer. So what we are left with is 1 plus 0, that is 1, 0 plus 1 again 1, 0 plus 1 again 1, 0 plus 0, that is 0, and here it is, we will be having this 1. So again we have to this separate it out, and we have to append these zeros. So again this is representing 1 and this is representing 7. So one has to keep in mind that whenever in BCD addition the individual bit sums it turns out to be greater than 9, then we have to simply add this plus 6 in order to get the appropriate answer in the BCD format. So this particular slide is showing the binary codes for decimal digits. So here decimal digits, that is your 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So BCD 8421, or you could say that the 4-bit equivalent turns out to be the 000 up to 1001, as we had already discussed. Whereas in the 2421 scheme, access 3 schemes, we have represented these decimal equivalent like this one. So this is the particular table, that how we will going to represent different binary codes for the decimals. So this is the example. 2421 is again a weighted code, that is your 2421, as we basically follow. Here in this access 3 code, what we will going to do is we will simply going to perform or add a digit 3 to its decimal equivalent and simply incorporate its binary number. So we are left with 0011, and again for 1, again we will be having 0100. If you closely observe that this is the decimal equivalent, this is the binary equivalent of digit 4, so which is 3 greater than this decimal number system, this decimal digit. So this is how we will going to perform this access 3 operation. And this is another 84 minus 2 minus 1. This is also your weighted code. So here maximum digit turns out to be 4 plus 12, 4 plus 8, that is 12, minus 2 minus 1, that is your 9. So here also, just like your BCD 2421, will be having another weighted binary codes. So these codes are basically different variants of coded sequences. So here at this lower portion, it is also showing what are the unused bits combination. So in our BCD 8421, these are the bits which are not used. In 2421, these are the bits which are unused. And in your access 3 codes, these are the coded sequence or groups which are not used to represent access 3 codes. Or here in this particular 84 minus 2 minus 1, we will be having these sequence of digits that are not being used for expressing your decimal digits. So this particular slide is showing the gray code. So the advantage is that the only bit in the code group changes is going from one number to the next. So here the major advantage of using this gray code is basically it is another schema. So in this particular slide, or in this particular table, it is showing what will be the decimal equivalent and its respective gray code. So what is so peculiar about this gray code is, so in this gray code, if you closely observe that any two consecutive digits will get differ from its next group of bits by only one. That is, only single digit will get changed while we are moving from one digit to another digit. So its major application is in your error detection. Suppose if you are using gray code and you are getting at the receiving side which are basically changes by 2 digits from its previous one, then you can easily detect that there exists certain error, since gray code would have been considered there only a single digit change. So representation of analog data, this is the major application, that with the help of gray code we can represent our analog data, and it is also having low power design. What do you mean by that? Since only single digit will get changed, so here the variation under the bits are also quite low. So this particular figure is basically showing a mapping, that is how we will going to map different gray coded bits, that is when we are moving from here to here. So the bits turns out to be from 000 to 001, and from again this from this side when we are moving to this side, so the digits turns out to be from 000 to 010, and from 010 to 110. If you closely observe that this 0 remains same, this one remains same, the only changes occur in this, that is your 0 and 1. So this is again a 1 bit change, and when we are moving from this side to another side, you can closely observe that here we will be having double 1 0. So here again also double 1, and this 0 would have been changed to 1. So in this to this sequence also will be only having 1 digit change, and again when you are moving from this 111 to 101, again there is a 1 bit change. So this is how our gray coded sequence would have been represented. So this particular slide is showing the ASCII character code. So the full form of ASCII character code is your American Standard Code for Information Exchange. These are certain standard character code. So American Standard Code for Information Exchange would have been given as this B4, B3, B2, B1. They are basically representing the bit positions. So B7, B6, B5. So basically ASCII code are specific codes where we will be having a group of 7 binary bits, and here these are representing B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7. These are the group of 7 digits which are signifying various alphanumeric codes. So what this particular table is signifying is, if we'll be having a code of this B7, B6, B5 as 000, B4, B3, B2, B1, again these all are 0. So these are basically representing, all 7 zeros are representing a null, whereas this 000 and then again 0001 is representing SOH, 000 and again 0010 is representing STX. So this table basically signifying that what are different combination of bits representing or signifying which particular alphabet or character. So I can take any random value. So what will be the ASCII coded sequence value equivalent to this E? So we'll be having this 100 and E is lying over in here. So 1000101 will be the ASCII coded equivalent of this capital E. So this is how this table is expressing the different coded sequences of various alphanumeric sequences. So this particular table is showing the various control characters. So NUL stands for null, SOH starts from start of heading, STX stands for your start of text. So these are various control characters that could have been used in your ASCII code, and we will be having certain group of bits associated with these control characters. So that we had seen in our last slide. So a popular code, ASCII code is again a very popular code which is used to represent information sent as character based data. So it uses 7 bits to represent 94 graphic printing character. So this ASCII code is having 94 graphic printing character which we can easily print with the help of your keyboard, and 34 non-printing characters. So some non-printing characters are used for text format. For example, BS stands for backspace, CR stands for carriage return. So obviously these characters are not your printable. So other non-printing characters are used for record marking and flow control. For example, your XTX, which is representing start of text, and ETX, which is representing end of text areas. So ASCII has some interesting properties. What are they? Digits from 0 to 9 span hexadecimal values, 30 of hexadecimal to 39 of hexadecimal. So in hexadecimal values, span of binary digits 0 to 9 will lying between 30 of hexadecimal to 39 of hexadecimal. Uppercase A to Z spans or lies in between 41 of hexadecimal to 5A of hexadecimal, whereas the lower case A to Z spanning or they are lying between 61 hexadecimal to 7A hexadecimal. Lower to uppercase translation or vice versa occurs by flipping the bit by 6. So now last one is your error detecting code. So to detect error in data communication and processing, an 8 bit is sometimes added to the ASCII character to indicate its parity. So as we had seen in our last slide that in your ASCII coded sequences we will be having a group of 7 bits. So here we will going to add another bit, or we could say that the single bit would have been sometimes added to indicate its parity. So a parity bit is an extra bit or redundant bit which included with the message to make the total number of ones either even or odds. So obviously if you will be having certain 7-bit codes, so obviously if you're going to count out the number of ones, that would either be even number of ones or that would be your odd number of ones. So if you will going to simply add one extra bit, you can easily make the total number of ones as a even or odd. So this is what we will going to understand it with the help of even parity and odd parity. When so this concept would have been clear with the help of certain examples. So example are considered the following two characters and their even and odd parity as ASCII of capital A would have been represented as this 7-digit ASCII code, that is 1000001, and ASCII T would have been represented as 1010100. So with even parity, what we will going to do is we will going to add a extra digit at its, that is total digits turns out to be your 8 digits. So this is the complete number. When we're going to add this number 1 plus 1, that is the even number of ones is there, and if we're going to add it with the even parity, then we have to append a single bit 0, and if we have to make it with the odd parity, then we have to put this 1, so the total number of ones becomes to be an odd. So in the similar manner, ASCII T would have been represented with this particular code, and if we have to make it with even parity, so we have to calculate or count down its total number of ones 1, 2, 3. So there are odd number of ones and we have to make it even parity, then again we have to add this 1 again, so that total number of ones turns out to be your even. So this is how we will going to make it with the even parity, and if we have to make it or add it with the odd parity, then we have to add this 0. So that total number of ones turns out to be your odd. So this is how we will going to construct even parity and odd parity. So redundancy or some extra information or some extra bit that we have discussed in the form of extra bit that can be incorporated into binary code words to detect and correct errors. So what is the role of adding a single parity bit? So obviously if one bit in the complete block will going to gone through an error, that is 0 becomes 1 or 1 becomes 0, so it will basically going to affect the parity value. So it will going to change its parity value. Suppose if you are transmitting your information with even parity and one digit will going to alter or changed, or you could say that will going through an error, so at the receiving side when you will going to compute the same parity, so that even parity will become odd parity, or if you have transmitted with the odd parity, that would have become your even parity. So this basically signifies that you have received an error number signal reception. So this particular mechanism would have been used for detecting that our signal transmission will gone through an error or not. So obviously this particular mechanism is not good when we will going to have errors in at even number of bits. So since if we are going to have 2 or 4 number of bits error numbers, that will not going to change its parity. So simple form of redundancy is parity, which is an extra bit appended onto the code word to make the number once odd or even. So parity can detect all single bit error and some multiple bit errors. So code word has even parity if the number of ones in the code word is even. So this is what we have already discussed, that we simply need to count out the total number of ones. A code word has odd parity if the total number of ones in the code word is odd. So that will be your odd parity. Example, so for message A 1000101, so we need to count down this total number of ones, that is 1 plus 2 plus 1 again 3. So there are 3 number of ones. So if we have to make this message with the even parity, then we have to add 1. So the total number of ones turns out to be your even. And suppose if this is the message 1000101, so here also we will be having total number of ones turns out to be 3, and if we have to convert it into the odd parity, then we have to append a bit 0 so that we can have this odd parity. So this is the example. So now next is your Hamming code. it was inverted by WB Hamming, and simple one parity bit can tell us an error occurred. So multiple parity bit can also tell us where it occurred. So if we are using only single parity bit, it can simply inform us, or you could say that it could only detect the error, whereas if we are using multiple parity bit, it can also give us the information about the error and where that exactly error get occurred. So basically OLN of n bits needed to detect or correct 1 bit errors. So generally we use 7 bit Hamming codes where 4 data bits per message bits m and 3 parity bits. So basically in total number of 7 bits we will be having 4 data bits and 3 parity bits just to evaluate the error. So this particular slide is showing the example of your Hamming code. Suppose we will be having these bits, or you could say that the group of bits, which is your 1011 0001. So this is basically your 8-bit information, which is nothing but your byte. So 2 data blocks would have been considered as this is your first block and this is your second block, that is 0001 is your second block and 1011 is your first block. So how we will going to make this Hamming code and how we will going to evaluate that where our bit will gone through an error. So we have to represent our 4-bit data sequence into such that we have to expand the first block of 7-bit as blank blank 1 blank 0 1 1. So we have to have these 3 blanks, and which would have been filled with the help of parity bit. And how we will going to evaluate the parity, we need to discuss that. So we have to convert our 4 data bit sequence into the 7-bit data sequences. So where 4 bit are your message bit and 3 bits are your parity bit. So we have to put first place, second place and fourth place as your parity bit, whereas third, fifth, sixth and seventh place we have to put our data bit. So if we closely observe that the parity bit 1 will going to affect first place, third place, fifth place and seventh place, whereas the parity bit 2 will going to provide the coverage to your second bit, third bit, sixth bit, seventh bit, and the parity coverage of third parity bit will be your fourth bit, fifth bit, sixth bit and seventh bit. So this basically signifying that which parity bit will going to cover the erroneous position at which positions. So how we will going to evaluate this parity? So bit 1 is 0. So here we have mentioned that how we will going to evaluate the parity. So parity bit 1 would have been evaluated as B3 plus B5 plus B7. So B3 plus this is your B1, this is your B2, this is your B3, B4, B5, B6 and B7. So parity bit 1 would have been evaluated as B3 plus B5 plus B7. So 1 plus 0 plus 1, that is your 0, or you could say that we have even number of ones. So that is why for even parity we will be having this gives 0. So parity bit 2 would have been evaluated as B3 plus B6 plus B7. So here it is your B3, then B6 and B7. So again here we will be having odd number of ones. So in order to make it even parity, we have to make this bit 2 as 1. So in the similar manner, third parity bit would have been evaluated as B5 plus B6 plus B7 as B5 plus B6 plus B7 as 0, since we will be having even number of ones. So our 7-bit block turns out to be 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. So here this 1, 0, 1, 1 are nothing but your actual message bits, and this 0, 1, 0 are your evaluated parity bits. So if we again going to perform the similar sort of action for our second block of information bits, that is your 0001. So we are going to have this particular amount of bits, that is your 11010001. So suppose for this particular block of bit we have received at the receiving side this particular block of bits, that is 00. For this one will be received 1, this one we have also received 1, this 0 we have again received 0, this 0 will be having this error number 1. So suppose this is the bits that we have received at the receiving side, and when we are going to recompute the parity bit with this particular bits, so we can easily check out that bit number 1 and bit 4 are incorrect. So when we are going to add them, that is 1 plus 4, that turns out to be 5. So the error occurs in the 5th bit position. So this is how we will going to simply evaluate with the help of Hamming code that which bit are in error numbers position. So these are the various references. Thank you very much for your patient hearing.